guys, now today we'll be looking into division of numbers in base 2. So first thing to do is to create your own timetable. Now 1 base 2 multiplied by 0, that gives us 0, and then 1 base 2 multiplied by 1, and that will give us 1 in base 2. So if you can see that, realize that base 2 we have only number of 0 and 1, so you have to stop there. Now let's go to the main division. How to divide 11011 base 2 divided by 11 in base 2. So rule your table, then after that you write 11011 base 2, that is the numerator, write it inside the box, then denominator outside the table. Then you say how many 1 can you see in 1, that is actually 1. So 1 times 1, and that gives you what? 1. So you subtract it, and that gives you 0. Then bring down the next digit, which is what? 0. How many 1 can you see in the 0? That's automatically 0. So write it 0. So the 0 you wrote up multiplied by the 1, that still give you 0. Then you subtract again. If you subtract, that gives you 0 minus 0, that's 0. So bring down the next 1 again, that makes it 1 like that. Then you still say how many 1 can you see in 1, which is impossible, so you write it 0. So you multiply that 0 by that 1, which still give you what? 0. Then you subtract 1 minus 0, that gives you what? 1. So lastly you bring down the last digit, which is 1, then bring it down, that gives you what? 1. So how many 1 can you see in 1? That is 1. So 1 times 1, and that gives you what? 1. Then you subtract it, and that gives you 0. So after that our answer is going to be 1001 in base 2. Now let's go to division of numbers in base 3. So we are dividing 2210 base 3 divided by 21 base 3. What are you going to do first? You are going to create your timetable. So creating your timetable is going to be in 0, 1 and 2, because you are working in base 3. So 21 base 3 times 0, that gives us what? 0. 21 base 3 times 1, and that gives us what? 21 base 3. 21 base 3 times 2, and that gives 112 base 3. So that's where you are going to stop. Then you rule your table. Don't forget we are dividing 2210 base 3 divided by 21 base 3. So rule your table. Don't forget that the numerator is going to be in, while the denominator is going to be out. So which is 2210 base 3 will be in, while 21 base 3 will be out. So now how many 21 can we see in 22, which is what? 1 from your table. Then 21 times 1, that is what? 21. Then you minus. If you subtract 22 minus 21, that gives us what? 1. So bring down the next digit, which is 1. Bring it down. So how many 21 can we see in 1? And that is impossible. So which is going to be 0. Therefore 0 times 21. If you multiply, that will give us what? 0 from our table. So if you subtract it, and that still give what? 1. So bring down the last digit, which is what? 0, and that makes it to be 110. So how many 21 can we see in 110? Check the table. From the table you can see that will fall on 1. So therefore you write the 1 up, then 1 times 21, and that gives 21. So now we can now subtract. Don't forget, if you are subtracting, you need to subtract in base 3. Don't forget, while subtracting you have to subtract in base 3. So looking at that will be 3 minus 1, and that is 2. So we are left with 0 in that particular place. Then if you carried 3, and that gives us 3 minus 2, which is 1. So now we have 1 2. If you can check the table, nothing like 1 2 again, so that will be our remainder. So the answer is going to be 101 base 3, remainder what? Remainder 1 2. Answer. Now let's move to division of numbers in base 4. So a good example we'll be using is 321 base 4 divided by 13 base 4. Now what are you to do first? Create your own timetable as usual. So the timetable is going to be within 0, 1, 2 and 3. So 1 3 base 4 times 0, and that gives what? 0. 1 3 base 4 times 1, and that still give what? 1 3 base 4. Then 1 3 base 4 times 2, and that will give us what? 3 2 base 4. Also 1 3 base 4 times 3, and that will give what? To give 1 1 1 base 4. So that's the timetable we are using for the division. Don't forget that we are dividing 3 2 1 base 4 divided by 1 3 base 4. So rule your table as usual, then write the numerator in the box or anything you call it, then the denominator is going to be out. Then you begin by saying how many 1 3 can you see in 3 2. You're going to check that from the table. You can see that that falls under 2, so write the 2 up, then 2 times 1 3, that gives what? 3 2 from the table. Then you subtract, and that gives us 0. So bring down the last digit, which is 1, bring it down. Then you ask yourself that how many 1 3 can you see in 1, which is impossible, so that will be 0. So it's 0 times 1 3, and that is what? 0 again. Then you subtract, and you have the remainder as 1. So the answer is going to be 20 base 4 remainder what? Remainder 1. So that is the answer for that. Now let's go to the final stage, which is division of numbers in base 5. Yes, division of number in base 5. Don't forget, the first thing to do is to create your timetable. That means your own timetable for that particular base. And in base 5, you are going to have the digit of 0 1 2 3 and what? And 4. So let's start. 3 1 base 5 times 0, that gives 0. 3 1 base 5 times 1, that still gives 3 1. 3 1 base 5 times 1, that still gives 3 1 base 5. Then 3 1 base 5 times 2, so that gives 1 1 2 base what? Base 5. Then we go again by saying 3 1 base 5 times 3, and that gives what? 1 4 3 base 5. Then the last one is going to be 3 1 base 5 times what? Times 4. So that will give us 2 2 4 base 5. So that is the table we are using for the division. Now let's rule our table. So in the table, the 1 4 3 2 base 5 is going to be in, while 3 1 is going to be out. So we begin by saying how many 3 1 can you see in 1 4? That is impossible. Then how many 3 1 can you see in 1 4 3? So looking at the table, and that will be what? 3. Can you see the table? 3. So you write the 3 up, then 3 times 3 1, like 3 times 3 1, that gives us 1 4 3. So we subtract, that gives what? 0. Then after that, you bring down the last digit, which is 2, bring it down. So if you bring it down, then you're going to say how many 3 1 can you see in that 2? So which is not among the table, that means it's impossible, which is going to be 0. So it's 0 times 3 1, that's 0. You write it down, then you subtract. If you subtract, that gives you what? 2. So, and that will be our remainder. So the answer is going to be 30 base 5 remainder what? Remainder 2. Thank you so much.